Welcome to the Mr. Skin Podcast, your weekly dose of what's new and what's nude in movies, TV, and Hollywood's sexiest stars. Now get ready for your host, the world's foremost authority on celebrity nudity, Mr. Skin.
The legendary Mr. Skin.
Mr. Skin. Dude, Mr. Skin.
MrSkin.com.
Skin, everybody.
Coast to coast, from Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York, it's the Mr. Skin Podcast with your hosts, Mr. Skin and Andrea Lowell. We want to hear from you. Call the show and leave us a voicemail at 484-SKIN-POD. Find all things Mr. Skin Podcast online at MrSkinPodcast.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 96. Yes,
Wow.
of the Mr. Skin Podcast. Crazy, right? Today's episode is sponsored by HotMovies.com. They, of course, have the largest adult film video library available online, featuring movies from vintage 8mm films to the very latest and greatest films being released today. There's always something to see, to do, and to learn at HotMovies.com. I feel the same way about this show, Skin.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you, Andrea, this is a big, big day. I know it's episode 96, but that's not why this is a big day in my life. And I got to tell you, I have had, since I've been Mr. Skin, I've had a mention, obviously, in the movie Knocked Up, which was bigger than big.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday Night Live, Californication. A lot of cool things have happened in the 19 years I've been Mr. Skin and had this website. Even George Lopez gave us a shout out at an award show once. So,
and not even like on TV, but like on Twitter.
Oh,
A-list, Oscar-winning celebrities are shouting you out, giving you props and backing you up. I mean, you're doing the damn thing.
Well, listen, that stuff is so cool, and I never know it's coming, and I don't expect it. But last night, Sunday evening, I got a text from Sam that works for me, and he said, hey, one of my buddies just texted me and said you were mentioned on Family Guy. And I'm like, what? You got to be kidding. That. And I got to tell you, I forgot about it because a lot of times people think like if someone's talking about a nude scene in a movie, they just assume they're talking about us. So that's what they think is a mention. But, you know what I'm saying? Like that happens a lot where someone was on a radio show talking about nude scenes in movies. They were talking about you. But if they don't say your name, it doesn't really matter, right? Well,
exactly. So what happened?
I'm a big Family Guy fan, as is like almost every guy in the world. And they're in about, they're about in their 16th year of doing this. And I looked it up. It's the 18th episode. So it's season 16, episode 18, if you want to check it out.
Oh,
and Andrea, I have a clip for you. Now, keep in mind, this aired Sunday night on Fox, Family Guy, one of my favorite shows. I didn't see it, but when I got into work today, Coco, our social media whiz, sent me this, and I was just floored. It blew my mind.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, listen to this. Listen to this.
Oh my God, what the hell is that?
Hello, Griffin family. I'm coming to you live via Living Room Hologram. I'm Parker Stanton, CEO of Boop, the most powerful company in Silicon Valley.
Do you know Mr. Skin? We'll talk later.
Yeah. How? I know. Peter Griffin. Peter Griffin saying your name. Yeah, I know. It's just incredible.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I know. It's Family Guy. And then I posted this on Facebook to my friends and stuff. People are flipping out. They think it's the coolest thing. And like I said, my website was featured in Knocked Up. We had the shout out on Saturday Night Live, the People's Choice Awards with George Lopez. But this is like to guys that are, to regular guys, this is like, you can't get better than getting a mention on Family Guy. I was like blown away this morning.
Dude, that's epic. That is phenomenal. Congrats, man.
Yeah.
What a great way to wake up.
I know.
Start your week.
Yeah, you've arrived. But so kudos. Thanks so much. That was so great of the Family Guy people to have Mr. Skin in, and I'll always appreciate that. I probably should send a bunch of Mr. Skin swag to the writers because I'm sure that was, I probably have a friend or two in the writer room. So very cool, and I really appreciate it. But Anyway, Andrea, I have lots of nudity, as you can imagine.
Yes.
And actually, this week, I have movie nudity, and I love, what happens is there's always so much TV stuff that some days I'll just do TV, but today I have 3 movies I want to talk to before I get into the TV content. So let me start with a movie that came out in limited release over the weekend. It's called The Con Is On. You could also get it on VOD, and this is how we got it. And we got these pictures at our website. And Andrew, I have a lot to talk to you about, and because I'm a big fan of this actress. But first of all, The Con Is On is a comedy about a married couple played by Tim Roth and Uma Thurman.
Nice.
They're reunited from Pulp Fiction, one of the greatest movies of all time. And
couldn't agree more.
yeah, so they're a married couple. It's a comedy, and in an effort to avoid paying off this massive gambling debt to a notorious mobster in England, they flee to L.A. and hatch a jewel theft plot. And I want to also say that there's a lot of hot babes in this movie. Alice Eve and Sofia Vergara are also in it. So I got like 3 of my favorite pairs of breasts all in one movie. And so anyway, in the movie at the 21-minute mark, Uma Thurman, who, hasn't done a lot. She did it when she was 18 years old. Maybe one of my guys could look up her age today. But when Uma Thurman was 18 years old, she did the movie Dangerous Liaisons. And it was like one of the greatest pair of breasts at MrSkin.com. But here she is, that was in the 90s. So here she is in, or maybe the late 80s. And here she is. Yeah, in 2018. So there's a scene where Uma Thurman is in bed, and out of the nowhere, Maggie Q, an actress, we're big Maggie Q fans. She was naked in a movie called Naked Weapon. She did a bunch of stuff in Hong Kong. Yeah, she's really hot. Out of nowhere, Maggie Q, who supposedly is bisexual in real life, I've heard. She
Well, her stock just went up.
Well, Uma Thurman is laying there in bed topless, and you don't see Maggie Q, and all of a sudden she pops her head up, almost like she was eating her out from behind, or I don't know what was going on, but it was so sexy, and Uma Thurman smoking a cigarette, and then all of a sudden another guy appears, so it was like a 3-way going on. But the great moment here is Uma Thurman turns over, and we get to see Uma's Boomas at the 21-minute mark, and man, they look fantastic. And she's just, to me, one of the hottest actresses, and I gotta say, they look so good. I'm almost worried she's had work done because they didn't avalanche when she turned over, and fall to the side. So I don't know. It's like getting me worried because I know they're real, but I don't know if she's had a lift or something. But my God, does she have great boobs? And it's an awesome, unexpected nude scene in The Con Is On, a new release, theater and VOD, just came out over the weekend.
I'm a gargantuan Uma Thurman fan as well. I actually specifically watched Dangerous Liaisons only because you had mentioned that movie to me years ago. And I was like, oh, what? Since I've just been like waiting for more stuff. And, I think if she's had anything done, it has to be what you said, possibly a lift, because that boob looks totally real. And we do know she has natural big bombs. But since you mentioned, I'm like, yeah, why isn't it kind of flopping over to the side when she rolls over? But you know what? Who gives a shit? It's real. It's natural. It's Uma Thurman.
Yes. And I just, as you were talking, I just went and looked up. She's 48 years old. So
she's amazing.
Yeah,
she's amazing.
And she's so beautiful. And I'm not a big, I wouldn't in real life want my girlfriend or wife to smoke around me, but I just think it looks really sexy with her nude smoking a cigarette. I love it.
She can do no wrong. She can be smoking a crack pipe, and I'd be like, "Oh, that looks so good."
Oh yeah, no, I'm telling you,
Uma Thurman.
I agree.
I love her.
No, I agree. She's gorgeous. So that movie came out over the weekend, so I wanted to share that with you. Great nudity news. Uma Thurman, naked again. But then Netflix released a movie called, I think it's pronounced Anon. I'd assume. Anon. It's a Netflix movie release. And it's a sci-fi movie. It stars Clive Owen. And I got to tell you, Andrea, one thing about Netflix, we all know about all the television shows that they put out, which have tons of nudity, but they're made for Netflix movies. Rarely disappoint on the nudity front. And this futuristic thriller, Anon. How do you?
Anon, like anonymous.
Anon, like anonymous. You're right. Anan is no exception. So the one thing is this. So Amanda Seyfried, who we're big fans of at MrSkin.com. She plays a character called the Girl, and the Girl is a woman with no seeming identity or even recorded memories. And this is very problematic in a futuristic society where every aspect of everyone's lives are collected and available to the authorities. So she's like an anomaly. And
sounds like a real utopia.
Yeah, and she's like a potential danger, right? And she poses a threat to this very orderly society. But I got to tell you, Andrea, first of all, there's a bunch of girls naked in this movie. Thank you, Netflix. Sarah Middich, Alison Bath, Sierra Woodridge, and Jordan Claire Robbins all get naked.
Whoa!
And they're really good nude scenes too. So I'm not just. But I wanted to show you, and we found something on the internet that was really cool. Amanda Seyfried does this nude scene. The nude scene from Anan is on the right. And if you're looking at the split screen we did for you, Andrea, but what's really cool.
Okay. I actually thought that was two different actresses. I was like,
no,
is that Olivia Wilde and Amanda Seyfried?
Well, this is a weird thing, but we found this on the internet and I had to post this and show you. This is like really cool. You don't get to see this in almost like real time like we're doing here.
Wow.
So Amanda Seyfried did a movie called Chloe in 2009, one of the great Cougar Kitten movies of all time. She was Julianne Moore and her... they
got nasty.
Yeah, it was a lesbian scene.
They got real
Cougar
nasty.
Kid. It was awesome. But there's a scene where Amanda Seyfried is standing there completely naked and sexy as hell. Well, that was 2009. She actually is almost in the exact same position, looking over the exact same shoulder, completely nude. And look at there is definitely a difference, Andrea, in 9 years. Explain all this. Like her back's curvier. Her okay. Explain how a woman's body could change. But I want to tell you, both ways I love. But it's just,
I'm loving both.
There's
too.
There's a different look from 2009 nudity to Anan's nudity in 2018.
It's putting on weight. I think she's 10 pounds heavier on the left. And it's so crazy because when you look at it, it's her. You're like, oh yeah, I see it. She has the same torso length, the same butt, this, that, or the other, but it's just bigger and juicier. So I think she's just put on a little bit of weight. And I think also in the left, in the Anan movie, I think she's slouching. She's slouching a little tiny bit. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. On the left, when she's a little heavier, I think she's slouching a little bit because that must have been part of her character to not have like super confidence, which is why her back's curvier. But I think it's also an illusion of being curvier because she has more weight on her. But I'll tell you what, she looks sensational. I'll take her boobs a B, C, or D. If this is what we're working with when she's super thin or a little thick. I mean, and when I say a little thick, she's still, tiny. Yeah. She's probably an extra small. Yeah. But, wow. She's banging, dude.
Yeah. So she had more to showy in Chloe, I guess is what you're saying. But it is weird. It's really cool because to do a nude scene 9 years apart where you're in the exact same position, but also looking over your shoulder the exact same way, almost with the same look in your eye. It's really cool. And CP, we should definitely post this at the podcast. Website, because if anyone wants to check out what I'm talking about, you could see the Anan nude scene and the one from 2009, and it is a really cool visual. I love this GIF. Thanks to our guys for putting it together. Yeah. But,
I literally thought it was two different people until we talked through it. So it's incredible. Everyone should go check it out. Yes.
And Netflix again comes through with another awesome movie for nudity. So that came out, by the way, on Friday, and you can check that out at MrSkin.com. Now, it's time for our Did You Know segment, brought to you by HotMovies.com, where we give you 5 facts about the adult industry that you may or may not know. And if you don't believe us, you can go check it out for yourself at HotMovies.com or talk to them on Twitter. They are at HotMovies.
I have a fact for you, Skin. Did you know that Alec Knight was an animator for 2 seasons on Seth MacFarlane's Family Guy?
No way. That's incredible. That's pretty funny.
Right. And you'll love this, Skin. Did you know the silent film Inspiration, which is from 1915, was the first film with non-pornographic nudity?
I did know that, but I'd call that Skinspiration.
They really should have. So I'll definitely be looking this up on Hot Movies.
Do you want a fact, Andrea?
Hit me with it.
I bet you didn't know that Thora Birch's, she's the girl from American Beauty, her parents were both porn stars.
What? They were?
Yeah, and they were actually in the movie Deep Throat, which is one of probably the biggest porn movie of all time. So that's pretty cool.
That's crazy. I guess she was born to work in entertainment.
Yeah, she was. And here's another one. Did you know that trans performer Karen Dior guest stars and directed an episode of Xena Warrior Princess?
No, these are great facts, but I might one-up you here.
All right, what do you got?
Did you know that female performer Midori started out as a model for Vidal Sassoon?
That I did not know. Pretty cool.
Yeah, well, she performed as a backup singer and dancer, and she's also the youngest sister of R&B artist Jody Watley.
Oh, very cool. Well, that's a lot of stuff I didn't know, and big thanks to HotMovies.com for that adult video entertainment. And they, of course, have the largest adult video library available online, featuring movies from vintage 8mm films to the very latest and greatest films being released today. There is always something to see, to do, and to learn at HotMovies.com. One other movie, this isn't out yet, but I wanted to share because we got some great nudity news on someone we love. The movie's called All About Nina. And it was at Tribeca a few weeks back, and some of my Skin Scouts said, be ready, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is going to do a great nude scene. And if you don't know her by name, I'm a big fan of the Fargo show, all 3 seasons. Yeah. Absolutely loved. And in the 3rd season, she played Nikki Swango, who was the Weasley
girlfriend, kind of a con artist. Yeah.
She was like the con artist girlfriend. And she actually did a great butt shot getting out of the tub in that, but it was only butt. There was no boobs. And I think she's beautiful. She's a great actress. Well, in this movie, All About Nina, she plays this really funny and provocative stand-up comedian whose career is like exploding. She's doing great, but then her personal life is a complete disaster, which is about every stand-up comedian. True? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but in the movie, and actually, one of the websites I frequent called Recapped, it's a blog. He's a good guy, and we, I like to check out these different websites in the world of celebrity nudity, and he has a really good one. He wrote in there, and even though my guy saw it too, I wanted to give him some props because he saw this too, and he said that early on in All About Nina, and I'm quoting him, Recap, the blog, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is shown topless in bed. A blanket is covering Mary's breast, but you can see a bit of nip peeking through the top. Then she sits up and shows her breasts again. Great scene. It's her first time of her career being topless. So really excited about this. The movie, I don't think we have a release date yet, but the name of the movie is All About Nina, and I know a lot of fans like myself or a lot of people are Mary Elizabeth Winstead fans, and she has a movie that'll be out later this year where she will be naked, and we are all over it, Andrea. MrSkin.com. This is very important stuff. Yeah.
I was so excited when we talked about her, butt scene in Fargo, and this is sounding like it's so much more involved.
Yep.
And like you said, she's a great actress. She's beautiful, great body, perky ass butt. I cannot wait to see the tatas.
Yeah, you're going to be happy.
I'm excited. I'm super pumped.
Yeah. Well, and so let me get into TV because there was some breaking. Oh, yes. Wheel of Skin. This is the part of the show where CP, the EP of our podcast, spins the wheel of skin and asks me one of our 28,000 actresses at MrSkin.com. And he asked me where I can find them naked, and I give you their skinography. And I, of course, am Pat's Say Jack Off when we do this. Who are you?
Vadja White, you know it.
Yeah, and this is a Merkin Griffin production. And today he will spin again and let me know what comes up. So go ahead, CP.
Right. And we have Susan Day.
Ooh, Andrew, do you know who Susan Day is?
No idea at all.
Oh my God, you are so young.
Pay me to guess.
You are so young. Well, I might be able to turn you on to her.
Okay.
Well, first of all, like me, when I was a little kid, I'm talking early 70s, there was a show on ABC called The Partridge Family. And and she played Lori Partridge, Danny Bonaducci's sister, the older one, and David Cassidy's sister. And I, like, as a little kid, was like, whoa, that was like one of my first crushes on television. I love Susan Day as Lori Partridge. And then you might remember the show L.A. Law on NBC in the like late 80s, early 90s? L.A. Law, do you remember that?
I remember it, but I don't remember
it.
You know
well,
what
you're so young, I forget sometimes. Yeah. But she played Grace Van Owen. And on LA Law, which is a very popular Stephen Bochco production. And I mean, you got to remember, like, for guys my age, it was between Marsha and Susan Day. We're like, who do we like? Yeah, who was our babe? You know, you'd have fights with guys like who was hotter, Marsha or Lori Partridge. So she's big. So that's so for me personally, CP, that's a great pull. I love that you are doing this. And I actually have 3 things, Andrea, to tell you about Susan Day.
Ooh.
And they all happened. All of her nudity. It's funny with her. It happened between the Partridge Family and L.A. Law, all of her nude scenes. And one is, and you have to see this, I remember looking at this about a year ago on our website. I haven't seen it in a while, but Looker is a movie from 1981. It's a sci-fi movie, and there's a scene where she's completely nude, and they're scanning her, and it's funny in the early 80s when they do a sci-fi movie, it's like what they imagined, like, is, things are so much more sophisticated now, so it almost looks funny when you look back at it, but but who cares? And Looker aired on cable all the time in the 80s, so I know this movie backwards and forwards, but she was completely nude, and they scan her, and you could even see bush. It's pretty wild. So that happened in 81. Susan Day, great nudity. And then she did a movie called Echo Park with Tom Hulce, who's probably best known as Pinto from Animal House. He was also Amadeus. And Echo Park, she was topless, which was a really cool little movie to see her nude. But I love... And this is the 3rd movie she was naked in, but the one I really love, which is a movie called First Love. And the movie came out about 1977. And she was a college student. And also in that movie was William Catt, who is best known as the Greatest American Hero from the 80s, a TV show that aired in the mid 80s. And he had like his 5 years of fame, and I don't know what he's doing these days, but so she's a college student, he's a college student, he was a little nerdy and wasn't able to get chicks, and they have a topless scene. And I remember, now you got to understand, the Partridge Family ended in 1974. I remember when I first started taping movies on cable, like in the fall of 1980, First Love was one of the early movies I taped, and you have Lori Partridge naked. I was like, believe me, I freeze framed that many times. But anyway, and here's another trivia about that movie. Okay. Not only do you, in the movie First Love from 1977, do you get Susan Day in her nude debut, but you also get Beverly D'Angelo in her nude debut.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. So First Love is a movie near and dear to my heart, but that's a great question, and I love that you asked for Susan Day. I love when they ask the old TV babes from the 70s and 80s. I love that. So very cool. But Beverly D'Angelo, Andrea, was the mom in the Vacation movies with Chevy Chase and all the other stuff. So that was a big deal. Yeah, that was a big deal for her to make her nude debut. So anyway, great Wheel of Skin question, CP. Really appreciate it. Now.
Yeah, nice spin.
Yeah,
all right.
Good spin of the wheel. Now let me get back to TV, because there was a bunch of stuff over the weekend and last week. First of all, Billions, that show on Showtime with Paul Giamatti and Damian Lewis. A show I watch. Me and Mrs. Skin watch this show. Now I'm a couple episodes behind, but they had an amazing nude scene last night. Probably the best. I was talking to my guys in content, and which I do before I do the podcast every week because I want to make sure we all watch it together. And we watched the scene, and we all kind of came to agreement. I mean, I know Malin Ackerman, who played Damian Lewis's wife on the show, did a nice nude scene. Maggie Siff, character, Giamatti's wife, though it was a body double, did a nice nude scene. This has got to be the best nude scene we've seen in their third season, 7th episode last night. It's so at the very end of the episode, Damian Lewis enters a party and he makes a beeline for a hot tub. And then you could see these girls, Andrea, Anna Tyson, Caitlin Pierce, and Valerie Lassard are waiting. They're waiting
crazy
for him. And as he disrobes, he gets naked and enters the hot tub. We see all of them naked. And we also
I didn't even notice him, Skin. I did not even notice him at all.
This is also the first full frontal in Billions history. Yes. So this is a big night.
I zoomed in. I'm seeing it all.
This is a good news scene.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
You see pussy lips. I mean, let's just be straight up here. You see lippage, mage, full frontal, straight on lip attack.
I'm telling you. Now, could you imagine? I mean, the guy's a billionaire. Now he's going through a divorce this season, but he goes to a party and there's 3 babes that look like that just waiting for him to come in the hot tub. And oh my God, whatever. Yeah.
Well, maybe he's empty on the inside.
I don't know, but what a life.
Whatever.
Yeah, what a life. But yeah, and these girls, we even tried to, I was trying to
they're banging, man.
Yeah, I was trying to come up with how I could explain. All I could tell you is they're hot. I can't really reference anything you would know these girls from because they're kind of like Hollywood extras, but there's a reason they got these 3 girls to get naked for this scene because they are freaking gorgeous. So
they look like perfect 10 models.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're beautiful, they're natural, they're hairless, they're fair skinned, they're dark. Like
you're right.
They
they're
look
natural.
To me like if I opened up what's it called? An issue of Perfect 10. I don't know if that magazine's even still around today.
No, that guy was a pain in the ass.
This is what I think I would see on the inside.
Yeah, and by the way, Caitlin Pierce is the one that went full nude.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. She is a dime piece.
Yeah, isn't she?
If you like perfect early 20s, something chicks, this is the scene for you.
Yep, I love it. So, best nude scene in 3.5 seasons on Billions last night because these girls are really beautiful. So, anyway, that was cool. And then another show that is very popular. In fact, this girl, believe it or not, in the last week was the most clicked on, most popular actress at MrSkin.com. It's Aubrey Plaza, and there's a show on FX called Legion. They're in their 2nd season. 5th episode aired last Tuesday. So since last Tuesday in a week, this girl Aubrey Plaza has been the most searched because she did an amazing nude scene that I want to talk to you about. Now, she's best known as playing April on Parks and Rec from 2009 to 2015. And it's funny, when that show was hot, people would ask me about, has the brunette April ever done nudity? And I'd always be like, no, she hadn't. But like in the last couple of years, she did that Mike and Dave Need Wedding Date. She was nude. She did a movie called Ned Rifle where she was nude. And then now this show Legion. And now Legion is a pretty popular FX show. This David Haller, he's a troubled young man. He's diagnosed as schizophrenic, but he has this strange encounter and he discovers these special powers that'll change his life forever. And Aubrey Plaza is one of the, regulars on the show. So in this scene, season 2, episode 5, I've watched this multiple times. I watched it like there's a Zapruder film because I got to talk to you about something here. So she wakes up naked in the desert. Now, I don't know. I don't watch the show, so I don't know all the, I don't know why, but who cares? So
who gives a shit when you see what I'm looking at?
Well, yes. In this case, when I get into this isn't the Zapruder film. It's the Zabooty film when I'm done with this. So anyway, she climbs out of a hole in the desert, in the ground, and she then starts walking in it looks like Arizona,
In the
like the
heat.
barren
Yeah.
Arizona, like where my parents live, and like that, but
Full
she's walking
sun,
around,
no cover. Yeah,
no cover. She's
uh-huh.
completely naked and an amazing view of her butt. But I got to tell you, we went slow-mo on this, and
Yes, you did.
I can't say conclusively if there is back burger there, but I gotta tell you, we're very frustrated because it looks like you could see, but then we think that maybe there was some blurring going on, that they did a little work. Andrea, I'm telling you, we literally studied this because she's so famous, and it 100% is her too, because the scene follows her. She gets out of the hole in the ground and starts to stumble and walk. But I'm telling you, like, we think they did some sort of blocking of the rear burger. Yeah. And because we've watched it in slow motion, we enhanced the lighting and everything, and it's almost like it's like a Barbie doll down there from the back, and I think they did something. But Andrea, it is, for the butt is real and all that, but we were trying to sneak a rear burger, but I can't conclusively say that we do.
I mean, definitely when I first saw this, my alert was rear burger 100%.
You had the rear burger radar going?
Yes, of course, because that's my fave.
Yes.
But now, I'm of course looking at what you guys did with the color correction and the slow-mo, and I've now zoomed in and paused. I feel if that's not real, if that's not her, that they've just put some sort of a shadow over it. I think that is the shape of her pussy. I think that's the depth of her crack. But if anything, if that's not her, I think they've just put a shadow. If that makes sense.
They did something, because there's some kind of undercarriage there, but we can't be sure.
It's major undercarriage. It's hanging down.
Yeah, it's very frustrating. So I almost feel like they were thinking that, the Mr. Skin team will be going through this, so we better fix this before it airs. And something happened, because something was there. It just doesn't look right. And anyway, it's a super sexy scene, and there's a reason Aubrey Plaza. Skin. Yeah, there's a reason Aubrey Plaza is the most searched girl at our website this week. And anyway, so they knew a lot of people would be looking at it. But anyway, the show's called Legion, season 2, episode 5. Great butt shot and possible rear burger from Aubrey Plaza, but we will not claim that. And
we won't claim it, but it's worth checking out.
Yeah, you definitely want to check it out. No question about it.
Use your own discernment.
Couple last TV things I wanted to get to. There's a show on Netflix. I can't remember if I've talked to you about Dear White People.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they just released on Friday last week. They released season 2 on Netflix, and this is a Netflix show. And I talked to you about this, where Netflix will release all the episodes simultaneously. So
love it.
That's always a busy day at the Skin Labs when a show with nudity is released, because they got to go through all like 10 or 13 episodes depending. And anyway, this is about a predominantly white Ivy League college, and there's a diverse group of students, black and white, and they're navigating the various forms of like racial stereotyping, discrimination, all that other stuff. And our guys went through this, but I'm now a big fan of this Logan Browning. She's the girl on top, Andrea, the black girl with the like incredible butt. And
beautiful.
Oh yeah, she was I remember there was a show on BET called Meet the Browns, no pun intended here, and she played Brianna on that, and wow, does she have she's gorgeous and has a fantastic butt, and she has a sex scene in this first season or the second season of Dear White People that was so hot, and I'm a big fan. And then the Samantha Smart had a really hot sex scene. And by the way, there's other girls, Morgan Lind especially, that's getting banged and her boobs are bouncing. And I was very impressed with season 2 of Dear White People. Some really good nude scenes, but my pick to click is definitely Logan Browning, the top one, Andrea.
Yeah, she's gorgeous. I love the hair. I love the body. Like you said, her butt, the curve of her back. I mean, she's out of control.
Yeah, no question. Yeah. I love it too. So anyway, that is out, and we've been through it. And I got one TV thing and then one other funny thing. So The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. We talked a little about it.
Different than The Handmaid's Tale.
What did I say? Yeah, Handmaid. Yeah, yes. What did I just say?
We talked about that Korean movie with the two lesbos completely going bananas, ape shit. That's the Handmaid's Tale, I think. Right?
This is the Handmaid's Tale on Hulu, and this is a show that stars Elizabeth Moss of Mad Men fame, and it's about this religious-based, autocracy. They've taken over the United States, and they're trying to turn it into this religious world, and it's a crazy show. It's actually very well done and very scary when you watch it. But
sweet Jesus!
Last week Elizabeth Moss showed a little nip, but this week they had a really Andrew, you would love this scene, and I don't know if pictures are going to do it justice because
I'm watching some sort of a video.
But this is a GIF, so you're not hearing them. But so these two girls, Samira Wiley is the black girl, and then Michaela Brasier, no pun intended, is the other girl. And this scene in a bathroom, now they're not supposed to be together. This is frowned upon in this world, Gilead. But I got to tell you, man, the Michaela, the white girl, is fingering the black girl, Samira Wiley, who's the friend of Elizabeth Moss on the show. And she is moaning. She gets off. Oh, no, I got to take that back. The black girl is fingering the white girl, and it is so hot.
Dude, this is out of control.
I know,
even without
it's
audio.
Really hot. And I know you don't even have the audio. We watched it with the audio this morning. And
dude,
yeah, it's one of the hotter interracial scenes you're going to see. And then, inexplicably, the girl wants to return the favor and finger bang Samira, the black girl, and she does. She just refuses to. Now, I'm not caught up on this season, so I don't know why she said no, but
fingering's not my preference either.
All right.
So maybe she wanted her to go downtown.
Yeah, who am I to judge? But anyway, really, really hot scene. It's technically there was no nudity, but when two girls are finger banging and in underwear and it's forbidden, it's like super sexy, I have to say.
Is this why the show is called The Handmaid's Tale?
Yes.
Like, is this why?
Yes, that's got to be
nuts.
It. Yeah, so anyway, that aired. And by the way, Hulu only releases episode at a time. That was season 2, episode 3. They don't do like Netflix where they release it all at once. So sometimes they do, but in this case, they're not. So anyway, so that wraps up the TV stuff. I did want to get in. We got a cool phone call.
Awesome.
We get phone calls, and I always forget to post them, but today I'm remembering because do you remember last week when we talked about Brockmire? Brockmire with Hank Azaria of Simpsons fame. And remember he was laying on that girl's head completely, she was completely, she had the really big booty.
Huge rump. He was using her head as like a big pillow. And we were talking about needing a playlist for it.
Right. Well, we also we're trying to come up with some funny names for a head, a guy using a big cushy butt as a pillow, and we were trying to come up with fun names for the Mr. Skin for the Anatomy Awards, and this Melanie Loren had this like almost like a Kim Kardashian butt. We had crack cushion and a bunch of different names. Well,
it's a badonkey for sure.
Yeah, well, whatever. We had a caller from Australia who listens to the podcast, and he had a good idea, and I think I might use it. Why don't we go ahead, CP?
G'day guys, it's Chris from Australia. Just wanted to let you guys know it's surely got to be the tush cushion or the tushin. Surely. Ooh.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
I like it. The tush,
I love it.
Tush cushion or tushin. So thank you to that caller from down under, no pun intended. And we'll, if we could track him down and he left the number somewhere, we'll send him some Mr. Skin swag. But pretty cool. The dude from Australia listens to the podcast, Andrea.
That's phenomenal. And I like the sound of tushin, but I think I like the visual of tush cushion. I just wrote them out for a Anatomy Award. But yeah, if anyone listening would like to leave a voicemail of their own, any comments, questions, answers about anything we discussed, 484-SKIN-POD. And if you're lucky, we'll air your voicemail on the show. Episode 96, Skin. Can you believe it?
Well, I think the big takeaway from today is the tush cushion is great for pushing. That's our that's our takeaway from today. So thank you to that caller.
Especially if it was looking like that actress's that Hank Azaria's head was on. I mean, that was freaking ridiculous.
By the way, my head would be turned the other way.
did I know that?
Yeah.
You know, and I think there was
I
so
love
much.
the S.
There was so much I could take away, but if I have to pick one, I would think, it didn't turn me gay, but Skin, you turned me on to Susan Day.
Yes.
Being nude and her nudography. I had no idea, and that was sensational.
Yeah, it's
So
a beautiful
thanks so
day.
much for that.
It's a beautiful day.
Well, you've had quite a week so far, and it's only the start of it, or you've had Family Guy mentions. We're talking Uma Thurman's boobs again. I mean, this is crazy and amazing. So the sky's the limit, and I can't wait to talk to you next week.
You got it, Andrea. Take care.
All right, have a good one.
This concludes another scintillating episode of the Mr. Skin Podcast. Subscribe to the Mr. Skin Podcast in iTunes and never miss a show. Thanks for listening.